Welcome to today's daily reset. We continue to speak about the foundational precept with the goal of utilizing everything we learn to create a real tangible shift in identity. This is the Shift Your Mindset month. I want us to start off by switching the identity we have been using. We have been operating with identity of director. So tonight, you sit in the position of director. So you better adjust your shoulders and your neck and your feet and sit as the commander. You previously been director. You need to be in this meeting as a commander. If you're still lying somewhere and leaning back on your seat and holding your chin, this is the time to switch to the position of commander. As the commander of your actions, it's your job to act with boldness. So as we begin this daily reset, your challenge is, to what extent can you act with boldness throughout this meeting? Which brings us to our precept. Intentionality gives me the power to embody the identity God designed for me. We are doing this daily resets in pursuit of an elevated identity, an identity that makes it automatic for us to act with greater boldness, greater consistency, greater insight, greater willingness, an identity that leads us to a place we have not been before, in pursuit of the me that we have not experienced, utilizing the me that we already are, leveraging the ability we have to capitalize on more capacity so that our abilities begin to be transformed into greater capabilities. Intentionality gives me, this current me, the power to embody the identity God designed for me. There are many words that use that prefix of em. Here are a few. Embed. Embed. Incorporates firmly within something. Embed. When I think of embed, I think of putting myself to sleep. I usually pick myself and then I put myself in the bed. I am embedding myself in readiness for sleep. Empower. To give authority or capability to. In other words, when you are embodying, you are taking the power and you are applying that power to your current identity so that you can transform it. It can become something else. Intentionality gives you the power. Then you use that little two-letter word called to as the container to carry that power and embed it. In other words, you add it to this identity so that it creates something new. So that it's no longer just me. It is me with the power of intentionality. It is you with the power of intentionality. And when you put these two together, you catalyze them with actions and the presence and acting as the commander of your actions, you begin to create something new. To embody that em is that is the catalyst to embroider your life. Think of your life as the fabric. You embroider, you create a pattern that is intentional, a pattern that was not present. It's still you, it's still me with the current abilities, but this active process of adding, embodying, embroidering, emblazoning, embedding, we are adding something active, an ingredient that goes in and catalyzes a continuing transformation, continuing expansion. Embody. Embody is the process of giving physical identity to something intangible. And that is what we are pursuing together. This month, we speak about identity shift. Intentionality, we spoke about this the last 2 days. Intentionality requires directionality. The litmus test for intentionality is whether it shows up in reality. When your intentionality shows up in reality, that is when your intentionality has passed the litmus test. Are your intentions showing up as reality Or are they remaining as wishes and hopes and desires that are frustrated perpetually? The litmus test is whether your intentionality shows up in reality. Because when it does, it automatically shifts. It creates a new platform so that today you have greater ability than you had yesterday, but you still have a lot of room to grow as you pursue your capacity. You have unlimited capacity and you have limited ability. The ability today is the best you will ever have, but it's also you will ever have for today, but it's the lowest level you are ever going to operate from. Can we take a higher intention this morning? A higher intention, convert it to intentionality by doing something about it, infuse it with directionality and consistent action, and aim that by the end of the day, we see a new reality that is the evidence of this intentionality we embraced in the morning, because that will be the litmus test. And the reality, it doesn't matter the size of reality, it can be small. It just needs to be tangible. Because one small reality today is a piece of brick that you have laid down. You add another one tomorrow, another one the day after, another one next week, and you have a wall of new reality, a wall of a new identity, a wall of new behavior, a wall of new self-perception, a wall of new characteristics that you did not have, a wall of new abilities that were beyond your reach when you started. Whether it is in your business or in your job as an employee or as a leader or as a teacher or as a parent, whatever role you play, what reality can we point to that is tangible, that shows that that intentionality that was initiated was fused with directionality and it has transformed itself, transmuted itself to something tangible. Because now that is when we can talk about embodying. Because embodying is giving something abstract, physical form, tangible form, distinct form. We are pursuing identity shift to go from one form to another, to become leaders in reality, not perceptually, in reality. If I come to speak to your colleagues after this week, will they tell me that you operated like a leader, like a role model, like a problem solver? Or what will they tell me? Will they tell me that you are a follower or a leader? Because they see reality. You see, we have a tendency to judge other people by their results, but we judge ourselves by our intentions. It's like, oh, I did not intend to come late. So we judge ourselves by the fact that we did not intend to come late. But somebody else comes late, we are like, they came late. We don't ask, okay, they came late, but what was the intention? We don't ask. We look at the reality. So if I came and spoke to your people around you, your family, what will they tell me? Is your mindset that of a follower? How you're acting? I don't care about how you acted last week, just this week. Just this week. Let's just look at the realm we can all see. This week, will they tell me that you've been showing up as an example or as a warning? And particularly, that one particularly kind of makes me nervous. Or the last one, will they tell me you are amazing, you had wonderful vocabulary in describing the problems, or that you are actually showing up as a problem solver, that you showed up as a solution? Let's see a couple of examples. I'm going to just call out a few people. I'll start with one or two people who I can see on video, and then we'll go with some people who are not on video. If I call your name out, everybody be ready to unmute. I'll probably just call anyone. There's no order. Shiro, I'll start with you. As a leader, tell me two things that you can do today that will, if the people I speak to around you will tell me that you acted as a leader. Shiro?
Okay. Two things that for me I can say I feel I've acted as a leader and a problem solver is where I work recently, we've had like 5 managers being fired. So obviously it has brought a lot of fear and a lot of like everyone is worried. So definitely everyone's problem descriptions have hiked up. So I mean at the end of the very elaborate descriptions, when you find myself changing the perspective of the discussion for everyone and asking, okay, we finished describing the problem. What about the solution? Where does the solution lie? So that constantly not allowing myself to be drawn into conversations of describing what it is that is happening, but rather being in that space where weighing your options within and without. Yes, and also just kind of helping even also with my colleagues to do the same, because otherwise then there's a lot of work paralysis that's happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have to be aware about what the issues of the problems are. And usually those ones you don't need to even think about them. You just need to listen. People will tell you everything you need to know about the problems. And then they will stop at the point of solution. So you being intentionally willing to speak about what the solutions are, that is the room for leadership. Going to call Eunice K. So I wanted to switch and tell me two things you will do so that we put it into the future rather than looking back. Tell me two things you will do today that will cast you as a leader.
So for today, I will be the one to decide what will be done. Luckily, today is a holiday, so it will be very easy. Being in the house, taking the role of a leader is goes without saying.
Tomorrow.
So
tomorrow.
Today was quite easy.
Yes,
tomorrow, as a leader, I will be in charge. Again, also, even at work, it's also a bit easy. Being an instructor, I have to be the leader, so also easy. So decide the way that we're going to go. I will set the actions for the day.
What will you do that is different, that will catch the people you've been leading by surprise? That's what I'm looking for.
I will allow them to take the stage. Instead of being at the forefront, I will assign duties and allow them to take charge.
That's a beautiful one, and that's a practical one. Sharing the stage is not always the easiest. Let me call everyone that I can see. James, are you still there? I'm going to ask you to. Okay.
Yes, I am still here.
Okay, give me two things, one or two things you will do today that will cast you as an example rather than a warning.
Interesting for you to ask, because I'm actually having a small talk at a church on the topic of drugs, and what I will use that will cast me as an example during that is I will share my story. That's a good example and not a warning.
I love it. Anything else? Something else? I hope for two, but if that is it, we can move.
Let that be it for now.
Okay, great. Thank you. I will call just one more person who is not on video, Frida. Then we'll move on. Frida, 3, 2, 1. We move to the next. Oh, Frida, go ahead. You've unmuted.
Hi, Doc. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wow.
We can hear you. All right, because of time, we will proceed. All right, so this is a couple of, this is not comprehensive. I just highlighted a few. As a leader, your role becomes to take charge and make decisions decisively. to make
Yes, I
decisions.
don't join. I
Define.
don't join in the discussions. I'm keen to lead, even though I don't have a title,
Fantastic.
having read the Robin Sharma book. And so I am also, where I work, we've been having changes in terms of products have been introduced. Everyone is expected to sell insurance. And in this case, a life insurance. People have been discussing, we have scenarios where people are forced to go back to school to read, to study the COPs. And so I've been I've been showing them the positive side.
Yeah.
Why you should at least know what is required as an insurance salesperson. And I've seen results. People have changed from, complaining we are being forced to sell insurance, and they are actually referring customers.
Yeah.
For me to take them through the products.
Yep. Fantastic. Thank you. I'm glad you still got to contribute. Yeah. So the question everyone in that office needs to ask them is: are they being forced to sell insurance, or are they being given an opportunity to sell insurance? That shift will change everything in terms of how they show up. So thank you, Frida. Thank you. Take up that role. Take up that opportunity. Nothing can teach you more about leadership than taking the role of salesmanship, because that means you have to be willing to hear no, 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 no. Then you realize it. The no is not feedback to you. It's feedback to your procedure, to your product, to your approach. As a leader, take charge, make decisions, inspire others to work towards a shared goal, and demonstrate integrity, courage, and clear vision. If you already have compelling ones you want to act on, go with them. But if not, pick one of these and make sure that today it is your goal to act on it. Pick one of these. Take charge, make decisions, inspire others, demonstrate integrity, courage, and clear vision. As a role model, exhibit exemplary behavior and ethical conduct, especially where it's easy to take a shortcut. Lead by example. Live by your principles. What are your principles? Demonstrate them in such a way that you don't have to tell anybody what your principles are. They can figure them out from your behavior. Inspire others through your action and your positive influence. If you have clear ones you want to go with, pick one of them. If not, pick one of these. And today, challenge yourself. As a leader, you have something specific that you want to demonstrate. As a role model, you have something specific you want to demonstrate. And as a problem solver, approach any challenge that arises with a calm mindset. You realize that the relationships you are in, the environment you are in will outlive whatever challenge arises. So if you panic because of the challenge, you're going to sacrifice the relationships, the opportunities you have at the altar of the challenge. And the challenge always passes. It's a situation that will pass. Situations are always outlived by relationships. Identify the root cause of issues. That is what most people forget to do. We describe the roots and the fruits of the problem. We forget the roots. Generate creative ways to overcome the obstacles that you're facing and persevere through difficulties. I call it thrive in adversity. Nothing can set you apart beyond the way thriving in adversity can. When adversity shows up and you thrive in it, it sets you apart. Like, I can't even explain to you. Adversity shows up, you thrive through the adversity. And these three roles would be a pathway for you to thriving in adversity. So make sure you have identified specific ways that you will demonstrate those three, and you are going to share those with us. And now it's your time to do the daily reset. If you are new, daily reset is a 5-pronged piece that you do every single day. It's an inquiry that you do every single day. It gives you an opportunity to specify your intentions for the day, but you go beyond mere intentions by being specific. Complete each of those sentences. Hopefully some of you have already done it before we started the meeting. I will encourage you every single day when you show up at the beginning of the meeting, just go ahead and do your daily reset. But remember, you are doing it in the role of commander, so you better have your shoulders squared. In addition to that, embrace the attributes of leader, role model, and problem solver. So do your daily reset, no more than 5 additional words. The more specific, the better, and be ready to share. Be ready to share your takeaway from what your specific commitment as a leader. You will just share one of them, either one you will do as a leader, role model, or problem solver, and share with us specifically what you are releasing today. What are you releasing? What are you committed to releasing? So please complete doing your daily reset. I will let you do this after you run the tapes of last week. If you haven't finished running the tapes of March, you can continue doing that. Run the tapes of last week. How well did you direct, master, and command your life? And how well did you wield your self-control? So please do that after we are done with this meeting. And then you will also create your mindful day. Imagine that you have already lived today and you lived it magnificently. Describe how you lived it. How did you wake up? How did you prepare? How did you show up? How did you speak? How did you treat yourself? How did you speak to yourself? How did you interact with other people? The more clearly you can actually express this and feel it, be excited about it, the more likely it's going to show up. And sometimes it shows up in ways that blow your mind away. We continue working this week with agreement number 2. Do not take anything personally. There is nothing that other people do that is because of you. Everything people do is because of their own reality. So do not take anything personally. The only thing you can take, you are allowed to take personally today is nothing. Otherwise, do not take anything personally. If you decide to take anything personally, just take nothing personally. It's time for you to do your declaration of intentionality. It's time to do your declaration of intentionality and get ready to share your commitment as either leader, role model, or problem solver. You'll pick one of them, and then you will give us the line, your daily reset line on what you are releasing. Today, I am releasing. You let us know what you will be releasing. So just go ahead and read your declaration of intentionality. You are really not really reading it. Do it. You do it. In the past, I felt powerless. I allowed external forces and limiting beliefs to hold me back. Yet today, I am seizing back my power. Today, I'm determined to direct my intentions, master my focus, and take command of my actions. I am determined to shape my reality with purpose. I am willing to carry myself as a leader, as a role model, and a problem solver in all situations. I am willing to carry myself as a leader, a role model, and problem solver in all situations. Please go ahead and share in the chat box. What is your commitment as either leader, role model, or problem solver? And what are you releasing? What are you releasing? What is your commitment? Great. I see some have already started coming through. David is releasing limiting beliefs. He says, today I am releasing limiting beliefs. Gladys, as a problem solver, I will remain calm in the midst of our current storm and inspire my team to show up on a holiday. I love it. That's already, so that role of problem solver has already automatically passed you as a leader and role model. Automatically, it's not even a choice. James says, as a problem solver, I will generate creative ways to overcome challenges. Today, I'm releasing fear. Thank you, James. I would encourage you to specify the specific challenge that we'll focus on. There might be 4, 5, 6, 7 different challenges. To narrow down to the specific challenge we want to focus on. Could you please have a couple more responses? Everything I've read is everything that we've received. Sylvia says, today I am releasing the weight of other people's expectations over my life. That's empowering. It's both vulnerable and empowering. Scholastica says, today I'm releasing fear of the unknown and believe on reality. See what you did there, you combined two. David says, as a problem solver and role model, I will be keen to pick out areas for the team's growth and share my thoughts with the team. I love it, Dave. I want you to also make sure you have the specific ones in terms of what will be your growth, your role, your space as a person, so that then it's complete. Sometimes we can inspire the team to grow, but we don't necessarily grow to the same extent. So that's a challenge to me, a challenge to you, a challenge to everyone. Eunice, today as a problem solver, I will focus on exploring possibilities. Thank you, Marcy. As a leader, I intend to step out and offer a solution to difficult situations in my workplace. I love these responses. Mercy, I would encourage you, you don't have to share this, but to specifically think about what current difficult situations are present that other people may not have thought about them, but are there any difficult situations currently going on that you could begin to offer solutions, even if you don't tell anyone the solutions, but you can actually start thinking about the solutions as you go along. Someday you'll run into the CEO or somebody higher in management, and you never know what difference it can make and even what doors it can open. Betty, I'm releasing time wasters. Florence, today as a problem solver, I will offer creative ways to complete pending tasks despite the tight deadlines. I like it. I like it particularly because it is addressing something specific. This is something that is actionable. Once you leave here, you can make progress on it immediately. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds. If I don't see additional ones, we will move, or we have 2 more. Anne says, I am releasing problem analysis and problem description. Yeah, Anne is resigning from problem analysis. Frida says, today I'm releasing being mindful of people's opinions. She says, I'm willing to carry myself as a role model. Shiro says, I'm releasing pettiness and claiming groundedness. Shiro says, as a problem solver, I will wear my thinking hat and encourage all around me to focus on refining solutions instead of dissecting problems. That is a mouthful and I love it. Thank you. Charlene says, as a leader, I will inspire others in how well I conduct myself in an organized manner. Yeah, that's one that at the end of the day, I can ask you, okay, so tell me how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how organized are you? Charlene says, I am releasing fearful doubt. I love that's a combination I've never seen, but I get what fearful doubt. Mary Joy says, today I'm releasing the distractions that come with the fact that today is a holiday and show up to do what I need to do. Thank you, Mary Joy. Betty says, I'm releasing fear. As a problem solver, sharing with the team solutions for our current issues that I had already thought of. A round of applause. You had already thought of this. That is what you want. That remember we spoke about preparation. Preparation is not just preparation for the things that are your role, but it's just being prepared for the environment. You never know where opportunity will show up from. Especially if you work with a team, you work in an office, the more prepared you are to articulate solutions for what everybody else sees that they're not talking about, the greater your chances of accelerating your expansion, your growth. And it teaches you a lot just about yourself when you do that. So I applaud you. Florence says today I'm releasing doubt. Those are all the responses I have already received. It is 6:09. I'm going to promote 2 people who haven't been on the hot seat, especially this week, for a mini hot seat. A mini hot seat. I'm going to promote Jacqueline just because we are so eager to know what's going on since we last. Is it just me or is everyone else eager? All right, we'll start off with Frida. But Jacqueline is unmuted, so we'll just go with you, Jacqueline. All right, Jacqueline. Good morning. How are you doing? We can't wait to hear. Yeah. Go ahead, tell us. We want the truth. We want the truth. Just want to know how things are. So tell us.
Morning, everyone. Good evening to you. It's been a roller coaster because last week I had a challenging week. So I didn't, my focus was distracted. So this week I'm pulling back in.
Was your focus distracted, or did you allow your focus to be distracted?
I allowed my focus to be distracted. I'll take responsibility for that, yes. Mm-hmm. So this week, I am pulling it back in. I decided to look for a list of all my clients from where they were.
Yes.
Because I remember the last time I was in this seat, you wanted figures. I realized that's what you wanted me to have figures. So I looked for that list, found it, and now I'm slowly working down the list. So I have fallen short of the 15 calls per day just because of the emotional space that I was in. So I'm working towards the 15 calls again.
The disruption that happened last week, is it something you can speak about, or is it something extremely private that you can't talk about?
I had 2 friends losing their sons in very weird circumstances.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of like reach out to them. And because they don't, it involved going out and spending time with them. So that's, I just felt that was a time when I could show up for them. So that distracted me. That is what I was talking about, the distraction.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's heavy. That is very heavy. I feel, I'm sorry for them, for the loss. I think we spoke a little bit about this by text. Yeah, that's heavy. Do you feel that you are doing what you can with the space where you are? Because you will process this, people will process this very differently, and only you will know when you have stepped out beyond the impact of the events and the emotions related to them. How far do you feel you are in terms of progressing back to your baseline?
Let me put it at like 30%.
30%, okay.
Yes, at least I am able. I'm trying to separate issues to know that I can give myself time to mourn, and then I have to give myself time to work and move
Absolutely.
forward.
Yeah. So you will know when you are ready. So this is not even a hot seat material. This is a warm seat. We should be surrounding you and massaging your head and shoulders and comforting you until you're ready. Yeah. All right.
But I have to do what I have to do.
I didn't hear that.
I'm saying I'm trying to process it like it's life. That happens in life.
No, so I'm
I
hearing.
have to do.
I actually heard what you said. I wanted to. So I'm hearing I am trying, and I'm hearing I have to do what I have to do. So I don't know where you are right now. Are you in trying season, or are you I have to do what I have to do season? That's the space I'm holding that space for you to go from trying to get out of what has happened, for you to to plug in and do what you can. Before this
I am
happened,
willing.
before this happened, were you trying or were you doing?
I was doing.
You were doing. Had you gotten to your minimum, to the floor of 15, calling 15 every day?
Yes, I had gotten to the 15, and I think we had the session where you had talked about after the 15 is the floor, so you have to do one more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not one more. More. Your floor is 15 no's. So if you call and get 6 yeses, that means it's 15 plus 6 until you get 15 no. 15 no's.
Okay.
I like your face.
My interpretation was
so
making 15 calls.
We'll step beyond the interpretation. Now it is 15 no's. You're looking for nitric oxide, the no. That is what will grow your business. That is the fertilizer. All right. Thank you, Jacqueline. Let's hear from Frida.
Hey.
Frida, tell me one thing you will succeed at today, no matter what.
Today being a holiday, I'll be at home. I'll serve my family.
Tell me, so serve. I want to hear something specific.
I'll spend time with my children and my spouse. Sorry. Yes, I'll be there for them that time.
Okay. What is it that is going to be different today? In which way will you show up today that is different than how you would have shown up ordinarily?
Well, I'll be more present.
Okay. What will that look like? More present. How will, if I was watching you by video and you're being more present, what will I see?
Wow. I'm not able to explain because ideally when I'm at home, I get involved in preparing the meals. I get
Mhm.
involved in talking to my children. You know, there are times you talk to a kid and that is it. And there are times when you're around, they're able to tell you more than what you know in terms of what
Mhm.
has happened during the day, now that they are in holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you will just pay attention to them. Is that what you're saying? That's what I'm hearing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
'Cause
will.
let me tell you, holidays are sometimes the most distracting of days, because that's when we want to really, really cook, really, really clean and go to the wardrobe, and the day just goes by like this, right? Your children get the tired version of you at the end of every day. And then on holiday, they get the busy cooking version of you. And you don't get the present version of you, right? So I don't know what it will look like for you, but I think I will leave you with that question to think about it, so that when you are with them, figure out, how can I actually be more present with them in such a way that they experience an intentionality level that they wouldn't otherwise have experienced.